Heavy, booming thunder. The sound of pouring rain and the clinking of heavy silver chains. They say a wolf's loyalty is unbroken, but they forgot that when you push a queen to the brink, her loyalty turns into a noose. For 3 years, I bled for the Mooncrest Pack. I broke my bones to secure our borders. I gave my heart to 4 men I believed would protect my back. But tonight, they are the ones holding the silver blades. Lily. Please, Caleb, don't hate her. It's my fault. I'm just a weak Omega. I shouldn't have expected Alpha Raven to share your love with me. She only tried to poison me because she was jealous. CLB. SHH, Lily, look away. Your gentle soul shouldn't have to witness this. Raven, your tyranny over this pack ends tonight. You are a monster who couldn't bear to see an innocent Omega find happiness. Raven. A monster? Look at yourselves. Caleb, you were my fiancé. I gave up half my territory to cement your status as Beta. Jax, you are my childhood best friend, my head warrior. I dragged your bleeding body out of the Silver Wars when everyone else left you for dead. JAX. You became drunk on your alpha power, Raven. Lily needed protecting from you. You've grown cold and ruthless. Raven. And you too, Ethan. I crossed the rogue wastes to get the herbs that cured your dying mother. Milo, I plucked you from the slave pits and gave you a home in my harem. Now you stand by and watch me execute for a lie. Atia Chan. The medical reports don't lie, Raven. Lily's blood had your specific wolf venom in it. I have to protect the pack from a corrupted alpha. Misa. You were always too scary, mistress. Lily is sweet. She treats us like men, not weapons. Lily. Goodbye, Alpha, your throne, your pack. And your men, they are all mine now. CLB. For the peace of Mooncrest, die. A sickening squelch of a silver blade piercing flesh. A loud, agonizing wolf howl echoing into the storm, suddenly cut short. The rebirth and the system reset. A sudden, violent gasp for air. Soft, gentle birds chirping, the rustle of silk sheets. Death is supposed to be cold. It is supposed to be the final curtain. But as my soul drifted into the abyss, a burning crimson light pulled me back. Raven. Where am I? The silver, it's gone, my chest. It doesn't hurt. I bolted upright in my bed. I looked around. The blood-soaked execution square was gone. Instead, I was surrounded by the familiar, luxurious walls of my alpha suite. Sunlight streamed through the floor-to-ceiling windows. Confused, I grabbed my phone from the nightstand. The digital display blinked back at me, July 3rd. It was exactly 1 year before my execution, the exact day of the annual Northern Alliance Summit. A low, dark, dangerous chuckle bubbled up from my throat. I'm back. The heavens didn't want me, and hell was afraid I'd take over. Caleb, Jax, Ethan, Milo, Lily, you wanted a monster. This time, I will show you what a real monster looks like. In my past life, I would spend hours choosing my dress for the summit, desperate to match Caleb's colors, trying to look approachable to please my harem. I had softened my edges to make them feel powerful. But the old Raven was dead, buried in the mud of a timeline that no longer existed. I walked to my closet. I bypassed the soft pastels and pulled out a form-fitting, midnight black military-style leather suit. My long dark hair was pulled into a high, flawless ponytail. My eyes, usually a warm amber, flashed a dangerous, predatory crimson. My wolf ember was awake, and she was roaring for blood. Heavy oak doors slamming open. Breaking the engagement clinking of silverware, low chatter of a dining hall. The grand dining hall of the Mooncrest Pack was filled with the senior warriors and council members. At the head table sat the 4 men of my former harem, and right there, sitting in the seat traditionally reserved for my mate, was Lily. She was wearing a flimsy, revealing white dress, shrinking back as Caleb fed her a piece of fruit. In my past life, seeing this sight on this very morning had driven me into a blind rage. I had slapped Lily, causing Caleb to shield the Omega and openly condemn me in front of the entire council. That single event had started my downward spiral. But today, I walked into the hall with the slow, synchronized grace of an apex predator. "Ciali B. Raven, you're late. And before you start screaming, Lily's wolf core has been fluctuating. I let her sit next to me so my beta aura could soothe her. Don't make a petty scene in front of the council." The entire dining hall went silent. The warriors held their breath, waiting for my legendary temper to explode. Lily shrank back, squeezing her eyes shut, waiting for the blow. But the blow never came. "Raven. Keep the seat. It suits her." "JAX. Raven, what did you just say? Aren't you going to demand Caleb move? You literally threw a fit last week when a female warrior stood too close to him." "Raven. Why would I care where a dog sits? Eat your breakfast, Jax. We have foreign dignitaries arriving in an hour. I don't have time to manage your seating arrangements." "Lily. Alpha Raven, are you mad at me? I can move. I don't want to cause trouble between you and Caleb. I'll just sit on the floor." "Raven. If you want to sit on the floor, Lily, go ahead. The maids haven't swept yet, but since you like dirt, you'll feel right at home." "Ciali B. Raven, that is enough. Lily is an Omega under our protection. How can you be so cold? I am your fiancé, and I demand you apologize to her." I finally looked up. My gaze was so devoid of warmth that Caleb physically flinched. "Raven. Fiancé, as of this second, the engagement is dissolved. I don't marry betas who don't know their place. You are dismissed from my sight, Caleb." The panic of the harem. The silence in the room was deafening. The heavy silver diamond ring I tossed across the long table clinked and rolled, stopping right in front of Caleb's plate, glinting under the chandelier lights like a drop of ice. Caleb's face drained of color. He had expected me to beg, to threaten, to cry. He had used Lily to make me jealous for months, knowing I loved him too much to ever leave. "Ciali B. You're breaking our engagement. For a petty joke. Raven, you can't survive the Northern Summit without my political backing." "Raven. My authority doesn't rely on a man who spends his mornings playing nursemaid to a stray. Jax, Ethan, Milo. Since you all love protecting Lily so much, you are officially relieved of your duties in my inner circle. You are her personal guards now. Don't let me see any of you in the Alpha Wing again." "Mila. Mistress, no. You promised me I could accompany you to the Summit Gala. You bought me that silk suit." "Raven. Then give it to Lily. It'll probably fit her better anyway." Heavy boots clicking away down the marble hallway. As I walked away, I felt a profound sense of lightness. The mate bond I had shared with Caleb, the deep friendships I had cultivated with Jax and Ethan, I had forcibly snapped them within my own soul. They thought they were punishing me by withholding their affection. They didn't realize that to me, they were already dead men walking. The Lycan King, ARVS. Heavy, powerful luxury car, engines roaring into the courtyard, car doors opening. The courtyard of Mooncrest was packed as the foreign delegations arrived for the summit, but everyone knew there was only one pack that truly mattered, the Shadowfang pack, led by the Lycan King, Alexander Vane. Alexander was a myth made flesh. Standing at 6'5", covered in battle scars, with eyes like molten gold, he possessed an alpha aura so suffocating that weaker wolves would automatically drop to their knees just by being in his presence. In my past life, I had feared him. I had kept my distance, allowing Caleb to handle the interactions, which allowed Caleb to secretly sell out our borders to Alexander's rivals and frame me for the loss. This time, I stood at the top of the grand stairs, waiting. Heavy, confident footsteps walking up the stone stairs. "Alexander. Alpha Raven Blackwood, it's been a year, you've changed." "Raven. People tend to change when they realize they've been wasting their time. Alpha King Alexander. Welcome to Mooncrest." An appreciative rumble vibrated in his chest. He took my hand, but instead of a formal shake, he raised it to his lips, his eyes locked on mine. "Alexander. Fierce, I like it. Your pack, however, seems to lack discipline." Alexander's gaze flicked behind me. Standing in the lobby were Caleb, Jax, Ethan, and Milo, all clinging to Lily, who was trembling violently under Alexander's crushing pressure. Caleb was trying to look brave, but his knees were visibly shaking. "C. Lycan King Alexander. I am Caleb, the beta and fiancé of Raven." "He is nobody, King Alexander. Just a beta handling logistics. Please follow me to my private study. We have territory treaties to redraw, and I prefer to do business with real alphas." The private deal. Door closing, pouring 2 glasses of whiskey. Inside the study, the air was thick with tension. Alexander sat on the leather sofa, watching me as I poured 2 glasses of high-end whiskey. There was no fear in my movements. I moved like his equal. "Alexander, you broke off your engagement with that mutt downstairs. Why? The entire Werewolf network knew you were obsessed with him." "Raven. Obsession is a disease, Alexander. I cured myself. Caleb was leaking information about our silver mines to the Southern Rogues. In my past, let's just say I found out the hard way." "Alexander, you have proof of this." "Raven, I will have it by tonight. I want to offer you a deal, Alexander. The Mooncrest silver mines are the richest in the continent. I will give the Shadowfang pack exclusive 70% mining rights. In exchange, I want a full military alliance and a marriage contract." A dark, wicked smile spread across his face. "Alexander, a marriage contract? You want to be my queen? You don't even know me, Raven. I am not a gentleman. I don't play around with harems and pretty boys. If you are mine completely." "Raven, I don't need a gentleman, Alexander. I need a king who can watch the world burn with me and not blink. Do we have a deal?" "Alexander, to the downfall of your enemies, my queen." The Sly Omega's failure. Over the next 3 weeks, life in the Mooncrest pack turned into a living hell for my ex-harem, though I didn't lift a single finger against them. In my first life, I ran the entire pack's administration, logistics, and defense, while the 4 men enjoyed the status of being the Alpha's elite. But now, I had completely revoked their access. I transferred all administrative duties to my loyal Gamma warriors. Lily, who had dreamed of taking my place as the most pampered woman in the pack, quickly realized that the crown was too heavy for her fragile neck. Papers slamming down on a table. "C. Lily, what is this? The financial report for the winter food supply is completely botched. We are short $3 million because you forgot to sign the trade exemptions." "Lily, I didn't know, Caleb. The numbers were so confusing. Raven always did them before. Why are you shouting at me? Do you not love me anymore?" "Jax. Shut up, Lily. Just shut up for 5 minutes. The Northern Border Guards just mutinied. They said they haven't received their hazard pay. When I asked Raven's new assistant, she said all funds allocated to my division were frozen because I logged 0 hours of training this month." "Etia-chan. It gets worse. The elders are furious. Without Raven's alpha aura stabilizing the pack lands, the lower omegas are falling ill. And I checked Lily's medical logs from last month." "C. What about them? She was poisoned by Raven's wolf venom, wasn't she?" "Etia-chan. No, Raven's venom is crimson-based. The traces in Lily's system were nightshade extract from my own greenhouse. Lily poisoned herself to frame Raven." The 4 men stared at Lily. For the first time, the veil of her innocence was ripped away. Without me acting as the angry, jealous villain, Lily's manipulations stood out like a bloodstain on pure snow. The rejection at the training grounds. Sound of swords clashing, wolves growling in training. Desperate to fix things, Jax and Milo tried to intercept me at the pack training grounds. They found me standing on the observation deck, wrapped in a plush fur coat, with Alexander Vane standing right behind me, his large hands resting possessively on my waist. "Jax. Raven, we need to talk. It's urgent pack business." "Raven. Jax, I believe I told you that you are Lily's personal guard now. Did she give you permission to speak to your alpha? Mila. Raven, please, look at me. I haven't eaten properly in weeks. The kitchen staff won't serve me the special meals you used to order for me. They treat me like a common Omega servant. Raven. Because you are a common Omega, Milo. I elevated you because I thought you had potential. Turns out, you just had a talent for begging. If you're hungry, eat the scraps in the main hall. JAX. Raven, we know the truth now. We know Lily lied about the poisoning. We were blinded. We were manipulated. We want to come home. We want to support you again. Please, let's go back to how things were. Alexander. You dare speak to my fiancé about going back. You pieces of garbage left her to carry the weight of this pack alone, and now that you're starving, you crawl back like beaten dogs. I gently placed a hand on Alexander's chest, calming his aura instantly, and looked down at the kneeling men. Raven, you want to come home? This is your home now. A failing pack, a lying Omega, and a ruined reputation. Enjoy the bed you made. The wedding of the century. Grand church bells tolling. Heavy organ music playing an epic wedding march. 1 year had passed. The Mooncrest pack was entirely bankrupt, its territories absorbed by neighboring packs due to Caleb's incompetence and the exposure of his illegal silver smuggling deals. But today, the entire werewolf kingdom had gathered at the Cathedral of the North. It was the wedding of Lycan King Alexander Vane and myself, the Supreme Alpha Queen, Raven Blackwood. The cathedral doors swung open. I walked down the aisle, a vision of lethal elegance in a blood-red silk wedding gown, my long train carried by 4 high-ranking Lycan warriors. Alexander stood at the altar, looking at me with a raw, primal devotion that left no doubt who ruled his heart. At the very back of the cathedral, sitting in the uninvited guest section, covered in cheap cloaks to hide their threadbare clothes, were Caleb, Jax, Ethan, and Milo. They looked like ghosts, hollow-eyed, thin, and broken. Beside them sat Lily, her face covered in bruises from the constant infighting and blame that had consumed their lives. See, Allie B. That was supposed to be me. She was supposed to look at me like that. JAX. We threw away a goddess for a snake. The satisfying finale, the trash disposed. Wedding applause fades out into the reception hall. The sound of rain begins outside. As the reception ended, Alexander and I walked toward our limousine, surrounded by flashing cameras and cheering alphas. Suddenly, breaking through the security line, Lily ran forward, collapsing into the mud right in front of my boots. Lily. Raven, please, have mercy. They turned on me. Caleb beats me, Jax starves me, Ethan uses me for medical experiments to try and recreate your venom. They hate me because of you. Save me. Take me as your slave, just let me away from them. Right behind her, Caleb and Jax ran out, looking pathetic and terrified as Alexander's Lycan guards drew their weapons. See, Allie B. Raven, no, don't listen to her. We brought her here to give her to you as a sacrifice. We want to pledge our lives to the Shadowfang pack. We are your true harem, Raven. You loved us first. JAX/ETHAN Milo. Forgive us, Alpha Queen. Take us back. We will be your dogs. The entire werewolf nobility watched in disgust. The mighty warriors of Mooncrest, reduced to sniveling worms in the mud. I stopped and looked down at the 5 of them. My face didn't hold anger. It didn't hold hatred. It held something far worse, pure, unadulterated indifference. Raven. You all look so incredibly small. Lily. Raven. Raven. Lily, you spent your entire life trying to steal what was mine. My fiancé, my friends, my status. I told you a year ago, keep them. They are a broken beta, a cowardly warrior, a corrupt doctor, and a useless boy. You wanted a harem of traitors. You have them. You deserve each other. See, Allie B. Raven, please, I love you. I've always loved you. Alexander. Keep your filthy hands off my wife. Massive combat boots slamming onto Caleb's hand, crushing it into the mud. Caleb screams in agony. I turned my back completely on them, stepping into the warm, glowing interior of the luxury limousine, pulling Alexander in with me. Raven. Guards, move this trash out of the way. They are ruining the view of my new kingdom. Heavy car door slamming shut. The limousine driving away, splashing muddy water all over the 5 groveling figures. Left in the freezing rain, the illusion was completely shattered. Jax looked down at Caleb, his face twisted in pure rage. Jax. This is your fault. You insisted we believe Lily. You ruined our lives. Caleb. You followed along because you wanted her to. You coward. As the 4 men began a brutal, pathetic brawl in the dirt, tearing into each other like rabid animals, Lily lay in the mud, crying out into the empty night. She had stolen the queen's harem, only to realize that without the queen, the harem was nothing but a pack of worthless wolves. Inside the smoothly moving limousine, high above the mountains, I looked out the window at the flashing lights of the city below. Alexander wrapped his arms around me, kissing my neck softly. Alexander. Are you happy, my queen? Raven. The weather is absolutely beautiful today, my king. Never cross a queen who knows the future, because her revenge will outlive your description of pain.